to live stream the meeting. That means it's about to go live, and we will be live soon. Yash has changed. Look at Yash. क्या ग्लो अप आया है एकदम. This is called glow up.
Like,
Trying to undermine my t-shirt. Huh. अभी
the
समीर की भी
hero
चेंज
of
कराइए guys. I will have to be honest with all of you. Anyway, check if it's live the YouTube. This time
everybody is in black and only I'm in white.
for first time, thanks for pointing out how unique you are, Yash.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for the first time, we are live,
Yes,
public live. So how does that feel?
great.
ये ग्रेट ग्रेट. ऐसा लग रहा है तीन लोग आंदोलन के लिए आए हैं और एक हमारा दिस गाय इज आवर लीडर.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we live? Do you see it on YouTube? Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, yeah. We are live. Your head is getting cut,
Yeah,
so
we are
shift your
live.
camera. Can you shift your camera also a little bit like like this maybe towards no 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 opposite.
Opposite? Yeah.
Yeah, better.
Okay. No, but if I
Yeah.
come ahead to type, ऐसे दिखेगा, ठीक है? Because I'll have to send link and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we are
So
live.
are you on a laptop or on a PC kind of a setup?
I am on my laptop right now. Any suggestions by our creative
Is it
director Samir?
possible? Is it possible to take the laptop near to you, like thoda pass में? So when you type, you don't have to come ahead.
Oh, nice suggestion. That's a good suggestion. अब बस ये हट गया हमारा माइक जो दिख रहा था.
This mic is functional or just for
Functional,
visuality?
bro. Functional. Can't you see? Can't you hear? Sorry. Can't. I'll make you. I'll
Can't
make you
you-
first see. Okay. Um, First brand placement after the Pepsi brand placement is Sure. Sure mics will tell you the change in voice right away. Okay. So this is with Sure. Now you will
Okay.
hear it from the laptop's mic without Sure. So now this is without Sure. How's the voice now?
सच बोल सकते हैं.
Yes. Come on, guys. It's better?
Better. Better.
One
It's
second.
better.
Okay, guys, we are live streaming and you're doing all these things here. Okay, let's try again.
बोल सकते
Um,
हैं.
एक
We
सेकंड.
lost you.
इतने पे रुक जाना चाहिए था, बोल सकते हैं क्या? पर ठीक है, कोई नहीं. लाइव स्ट्रीम में तो ये सब चीजें होंगी. Now
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to this. Hello, guys. This is Chetan trying our first live stream today with three brilliant people. How's the voice now?
Little better. Like it's 1920, not more
Is
than
it
that.
possible
Okay,
that
okay.
you
Sure is
take
better.
the mic?
Sure is better.
Sure
Yes.
is better, guys.
Yeah.
We need sponsors. Come on, sure is better. If it's 1920 also, then it's sure. Maybe I don't know how to do the settings. So to be fair to the Shure mic,
Yeah.
it's one of the most I think legacy brands and the best brands out there. I'm not much into the equipment as you can see, but somebody told me buy Shure, you'll be always sure. So I bought it, and you guys better be sure. So now, do we have the link for the live stream? And let me record this as well. I've already started the recording. Sameer has started recording. We're all good. Just in
Yes.
case
Yes.
we don't get our other recording on YouTube, we should have our own backup. So I'm gonna send this Zoom link to them, all the people who gonna join. Just give me a moment. While if there are any other checks, can you go live on? Can somebody post on Instagram and I'll just repost. It'll be easier for me that we are live and with the link of the YouTube. Send me the link though. I'm just gonna ask them for it. Guys, this is where we're gonna lose the audience if you're not gonna entertain them. Okay, I'm doing all this work, which from next episode you will have to.
Cool t-shirt.
Who's cool t-shirt? Mine.
Yes, yes, yours.
One of the founders I just got connected to. and he wanted to join. Like I asked him like if you want to join. He said somebody said who connected me to him that he can join, but he doesn't believe in cold calling. So I'm like, it'll be fun to have someone
Hmm.
like that, and we'll have some debate. But
Yeah.
too last minute it seems, and he said that probably not. Um, so I already have three guests, so I don't want to do something like that
That's how much
without
he.
giving that guy a heads up because he doesn't know what he's getting into, right?
Yeah.
Although these are the kind of moments which can make go viral, right? You never know what
Yeah.
happens, and that guy comes in. What do you guys think? Should I tell him to come anyway, join, or
Maybe too many cooks in the same Zoom.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe let me send them on the invite as well, so we are good. Can you send me the YouTube link quickly, please? I asked
I
for it.
sent you.
Where is it?
Which number do you want it on?
Guys, everything on Zoom, guys. Don't put in numbers. Like, if you're talking on Zoom, just put everything here. Otherwise,
Okay.
although I'm right now on.
Check.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, let me send in a couple of groups. Once you send me the story, I'll just repost. And Samir on YouTube, if you can just be there just to see who all, if anybody comments or views, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Just point it
Okay.
out here because I'm sending in some WhatsApp groups of founders and VCs. So you never know if somebody joins and asks any question. We may have more followers than we might think.
True.
Actually, you could have gone live on LinkedIn just to tell that, I'm live. What do you think? LinkedIn?
Let's go.
So if there are any comments, where should I pin you at?
Just on the Zoom itself, right now, here on the chat.
But once like all the founders have come, so even they will be able to see then.
Yeah, yeah, that's so what.
Or
Or send it to me directly. There's
or I
also,
guess yeah, yeah, one-to-one message,
you can
I
send it to me
guess.
also.
But maybe you guys should be careful with that. Sometimes when you reply to such a message, it sends it to everybody. So you have to be careful about sending it to the specific person.
Correct. So it doesn't matter, man. Whatever the comments are, we'll see. If let's see if they're legit comments which are, to be answered. Obviously, use your discretion. If somebody is already trolling me, which I'll be flattered with, if somebody trolls me today, first day, that means we are famous already. But I'm saying that yeah, I mean anything good, worthwhile to add in the conversation, just add in, and we'll figure it out. I'm gonna send this YouTube link to some groups that I am in. And
There are two people watching us, and I am one of
nice.
them.
You are one of them. Nice. Okay, so I have a fun segment,
I
icebreaker
am the
sort of.
second, I guess.
You're the second one. Uh, so I have these, a
Tea.
plugin to make Jersey 2, right? The
Oh, yeah.
sponsor of this location. But it's also fun to just talk about, which team is this, right? Let's guess the team by just seeing this much in the jersey. And
Yeah.
I have more France, Portugal more. So that's a segment I'll do to start, and then I think it's a good element also on the side, right? So
Yeah.
that's the plan. Uh, Having this on the side. This lighting is just to add a little bit element. It was very last minute, all this setup and everything, because yesterday my brother was playing soccer. Ironically, he fractured his ankle, and now I'm gonna take care of him. while being here and also do this live stream. This was my first live stream, so I had to do it. So I'm like, I'll come and do it at your place, and maybe this becomes a better background than the other setup. The other setup is different. This has a different vibe, but
Yeah.
it was all very last minute improvisation. You have to be creative, right? This lighting. Are you able to see the lighting? Yes.
Yeah. The orange one, ambient
Yeah.
lighting.
Ambient
Yeah.
lighting. This I
Yeah.
wanted to close, but
Yeah.
the vote
Too
is
dark.
against it. Huh? It's, it's
It will
too
get too
dark.
dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, Vrinda wanted some natural lighting, so she said keep the natural light. So a lot of creative people behind this from Honest Create. Definitely, we need to plug in Honest Create, guys. Come on. A company that I started 6 years ago with Vrinda, and a very niche offering. We do storytelling in presentations, and we've done that now for over 500 clients. Blah blah blah. Go and check our website, man. That's all I wanted to plug in Honest Create about. But the main plugin is why I'm doing this live stream is because I just have a lot of brilliant people around me. Three of them are here. One guy's video is frozen, and he looks like some guy who's gonna give you a Salman Khan thing. Hey, what is
Yeah.
happening, guys? Sonam, it's done, bro.
It's done, bro.
That's his look.
Yeah.
और ये समीर वैसे भी सलमान खान, Samir's character is actually the character's name in हम दिल दे चुके सनम, Salman Khan.
Yeah.
So
True.
what, Sameer, you just missed a iconic moment, yaar. It's just
I
you
don't know,
already
my network just jammed and it automatically like left, like the meeting was left and rejoined automatically.
You're already
I'm
famous, by
not
the
able
way. You can switch off
to.
the video if you want to. In 5 minutes, hopefully,
Yeah.
the others will join. I mean, Dia, you and Yash, you can stay. We can say a hi, and because you have more context of the podcast, we can all say a hi, and then you can switch off the video. Keep listening. If you have
Yeah.
something to ask, I will encourage you to switch on the video and ask, and we can bring, or if I find something interesting in the conversation to bring Gen Z and designers in, I'll bring you guys in. Okay, both of you. So that's about it. If anybody else joins, which can be possibly Alicia, if she joins, just tell her to keep the camera off for now. She comes out of nowhere and there are four people talking.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so that's about it. And any other things to keep in mind? Have you posted on Instagram or no? My 200 followers should see that I'm going live stream. I was not sure about doing it on LinkedIn, like announce, let's do it on LinkedIn.
Why did you not announce?
We will set you up. So the founder may join as well for a bit. Kara, I'll just like to listen in Anshul. But if he's listening, we'll ask him a question why he doesn't believe in cold call, and maybe if he switches on.
It will be the right hook.
Do you have the thumbnail that we've put on the YouTube video?
What is it?
Do you have the thumbnail that you've put on the YouTube video, like the?
No, we don't have anything. So it's all gonna happen while we go. What thumbnail are we talking about?
She's
No,
asking for,
I
I think, Instagram story. You can take a screenshot of this and put
Ah,
maybe.
just take a screenshot of this, na, that we are live. Okay, Elisa's note taker has joined and Nick has joined. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you? Good to have you here.
Just setting up my system. Give me a minute. Get the background going. Switching a
Sure.
client, switching views, switching.
Yeah,
Never a
I
dull
get it.
moment.
I get it. I already saw the view, so it was good.
Okay, of course, this is on a different profile. Glad I gave myself a minute here.
So Nick is joining from Studio
There we
Verse. There it is. Great timing.
Oh,
got the color right, and it looks like your
Oh
glasses
gosh.
colors are also blue. So I like the coordination.
I've been doing this a while.
I know, I know. So Nick himself is a communications sort of, a professional, I would say, but with a lot of experience. I think I don't want to give up how many
That's a
years.
nice way of saying I'm very old.
I was gonna say that, right? Like, I'll say I don't want to give up his age, but probably much more than us, or maybe closer. And Yash and Dia, they're joining in from India. They are the ones helping me in the live stream, but they're also students and to be entrepreneurs. Actually, Yash is already an entrepreneur. He's building his branding agency. So you and Nick probably, you should connect with Nick sometime because he's a
Yeah,
communication
sure.
strategist. And Dia is, studying interior design and right now interning, but maybe someday becomes an entrepreneur soon. So this is all learning for them.
Excellent. Well,
Hi, Nick.
it's
How are
funny
you?
because the topic I'm excited about, I remember when cold calling was truly cold calling, where you
Yeah.
showed up at a business park with
Oh, yeah.
with a with your sales kit,
Correct.
and you
Correct.
had no idea whether there was a customer in there or not, or what was going on in there.
Yeah. Yeah. We've done
So you
those,
guys are
right?
all spoiled with LinkedIn and being able to the web and being able to research something instantaneously. For us, we had
Yeah.
to go down to the library, have papers shipped to us. It was very long.
I've done those. I've walked into talking about walking into. Firstly, Aryan just walked into the conversation, man. Look at the guy. You know, those glasses are the ones I'm missing. Hey, Elisa. Elisa is here too. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. You guys are right on time. How come so punctual? It's not even one yet, so I like it. Thank you for joining in.
Great
Hi,
to be part of
Aryan.
it. Hi, Alyssa. Nice to see you.
It's so good to see you.
Likewise. Hi, Nick, Yash, Jason. Great to be on the
Hello.
podcast today.
Thanks for joining in. We are
Good to
super
see you.
excited. Looks like a great panel. It's like, so just to give you context, so Dia and Yash, they both are in India right now. Both are design students and really, really awesome design students. I've seen their work, I've worked with them, and they both are to be entrepreneurs. So, they are at that stage. Remember when maybe Alisa, you took that, you keep posting about it, taking that leap of entrepreneurship, so they are right there, right? So for them, both of them are helping me with this live stream, and they keep showing up and encourage me and give me ideas, the Gen Z ideas. They're both 2021, so I needed fresh ideas. I needed someone to tell me how I'm looking and what the background should be. So they're just joining as viewers, but if they have any thoughts and any learnings, they would speak up.
Yeah.
That's their role gonna be on this podcast or live stream. We're actually live on YouTube. I don't know if you know. Why don't you put Yash the YouTube link as well down there, so
Yeah.
so people can get more nervous if they want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elisa, it all started with our conversation. So thank you for joining in. And Elisa is, a person who I discovered through, her posting about cold calling apps she built, like vibe coded one day, and I found it really cool. And we started talking, and I wanted to do this with someone expert, a cold calling expert, and she happened to be. And that's why I thought, let's do it. And thanks for making that happen, Elisa. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for joining in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. And I'm flattered that you see me as a cold calling expert, but I'm still in the journey of becoming an expert.
Well, you are much ahead than us. We are still thinking of warming up in that marathon, and you've taken some lead. So we have someone to catch up to, right? So, of course, it'll be much more, I would say, structured, learning as well today. So we wanted someone who at least knows the terms of cold calling, which we kind of don't even know yet. And that's where even Aryan comes in, and you both coincidentally, I just met you maybe a a week. I mean, I connected with you on LinkedIn, and then Aryan I've met just a week after, and he happens to live right across, right? And we were so
Oh, no
nearby.
way.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, I saw him posted about his like his workout in his gym, and I found that I'm like that gym is so nearby my place, and that's how we connected and we met over coffee. And Aryan, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was great to see you as well. You sniped the location of the gym, which is amazing. And I'm so glad you reached out and great to meet you. And obviously, what you're building is fantastic over at Honest Create. And Alyssa as well is amazing. I mean, we connected a couple of months ago as well, and she's a crusher in cold calling. So I'm very excited to be here and have a great conversation about what we love to do.
Amazing, amazing. I love it. I love it. And Nick is today's sort of, the focus founder. We wanted, see, we can learn about cold calling, but we needed, what can we practice it on? Like, we actually needed a startup that we can contextualize the whole information on. And I reached out to Masood, the founder of Studioverse, and he said Nick is our cold calling specialist. So you are already coming with a strong recommendation from your founder, Nick.
Well, it is. I am the chief messaging officer. If it's a message we're trying to put out, it's going through me. So I handle, how to talk to people, how to present the item. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm the only native English speaker. But also, it is literally decades of introducing clients to new products and new companies.
Amazing, amazing. And you've been cold calling too, right, Nick, for your service? That's what he said. Even at
I have been doing.
Studioverse.
I done some cold calling for Studioverse initially. Right now, I kind of help guide the BD team. We're in a really unique proposition here in the fact that our demand is not really the side of the equation that's the problem. Everybody needs videos, so it's more of a matter of, handling the supply side of it, getting it handled, doing the production side. So the cold calling is really sometimes as simple as, do you need a video? Yes. Can you help? So it's not as difficult as some cases in the past have been. But mostly it's focused. I've been focusing on trying to keep the cold calls as warm as possible.
Yeah,
The idea being that the best thing you can do is not have a cold call, to be actually understand what you're going into, kind of the lawyer idea of don't ask questions you don't know the answer to already, those kind of things. So you kind of have an idea of what they're already looking for or what you could offer them before you step into the call, so you have a nice hook ready
yeah, yeah.
once
Uh,
you come back.
yeah. So I think your communication, experience also aligns to me. I'm the pitching guy, right? Like that's all I
Yeah,
do as far as Honest Create goes. But since I help everybody pitch, there are a lot of founders who are even cold pitching on LinkedIn, cold pitching on email, and but then cold pitching on call is a different ballgame altogether, right? And that's what I also want to learn here, from both of them who have been doing a lot more. Even Nick, you do. So this is learning for everybody, and
absolutely.
also for the audience. And we also have one more founder, Anshul, who joined in for a bit. I just want to introduce him because he's very, very last minute at it. He's in India right now, and he's looking to start his US GTM, or already started. And he's not a believer of cold calling, if I can say. So it'll be fun to know his views maybe after we have done discussion. But Anshul, thanks for jumping in. This is very last minute, but thank you for doing this.
Thanks, Chetan. And just to clarify, actually in Atlanta right now, so I'm in Eastern time zone.
Oh, you're already in Atlanta. Lovely,
Yeah,
lovely. So you're already getting started to have your foot on the ground, get the US
yeah,
GTM going.
yeah,
But cold calling is something that you haven't done yet, right? Easy to say
yeah.
that.
We are a AI calling company. We do calling, and we do get a lot of customers who ask for cold calling. And actually, to be honest, we started with some cold calling use cases, But very
Okay.
soon we realized that this is not what I want to do. And to add to the point that Nick mentioned, that we want to make the call warm, because cold calling is not working anymore, especially in US. Like, people have stopped picking up the phone, and then there are so many regulations. TCPA, FDCPA. We are in collections, so there is another one called FDCPA, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Plus, there are nowadays a lot of this thing, screening thing, AI caller screening thing. So the AI, the iPhone shows like it's a spam call, or like it doesn't even let
So
you connect to the person. So
so
yeah, we don't want to go too much into cold call, but yeah, happy to listen to other people. What are their thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm
lovely,
thinking we
lovely.
might end up rebranding cold calling to first calls. If it's
I
Yeah,
mean,
if
see,
you
as
nobody's answering, you're right. There's nobody answering their phone these days. I think the system used to be bad enough at like a few out of 10, and now you're
yeah,
lucky if you're getting a few out of 100.
exactly. Especially if it is an unknown number and if it shows spam likely or something like that.
guys, sorry to interrupt, but let's not forget there are these two people who are on the other side now.
Absolutely.
This is so much fun. I like it's almost like a debate, and I don't obviously wanted like a healthy debate here as well, but this is a question that I get asked by all the founders in my community. Hey Chetan, cold calling, why are you starting this? Cold calling, I mean, I don't, is it not dead yet? So some people actually don't know that, cold calling is live and thriving. And there's a
Absolutely.
whole world of cold calling, which Elisa and me talked about the first time we chatted, right? But
Mhm.
but Elisa, just your initial thoughts on just how the industry sees cold calling as a term, and how do you try to market yourself in that space?
Yeah, I think initially I wish I could go back 10, 20 years and then have actually something to compare to. Um, because when there wasn't all these obstacles to get through with cold calling, I do think that that would be really interesting to have that experience. And so because of that, I think I have seen cold calling work. It's just done differently. And if I told you guys that I just witnessed a company called Glen Coco book 300 meetings in 3 days, 100% via cold calling last week, you guys probably wouldn't believe me, but it's true. And I flew into Arizona, and I sat with 20 reps who cold called from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. They took breaks and we had lunch. And I watched and listened and live, watched them book 300 business meetings via cold calling. And so it certainly is not dead. It's just certainly having to get through a lot more obstacles. And I think one of the things is when you cold call, you're getting straight to the prospect, you're getting on the phone, and you're also collecting a lot of market data. And I'm sure Aryan uh, agrees with this. I can have 30 conversations with our prospects and gather a lot of market insights that I can then bring back to my clients. That is also really valuable, even if we don't end up booking a meeting, that you can't always get if you're doing email and you're not hearing back, or you do marketing. And when you're on the phone, I'm figuring out exactly what their objections are, why they're saying no, what tech they're using, and I'm bringing that market and insights back to my clients.
Yeah, it's so much more, right? I think somewhere I feel we all are aligned that that it still works to reach out, but in a
Mhm.
right contextual way. And
Mhm.
just the term cold calling needs to be a lot more educated to the
Mhm.
founders that it
Mhm.
can work provided it's done the right way. But
Mhm.
a cold outreach is a cold outreach, and you call that industry cold calling only. You cannot call it anything else, even if it looks like it's a negative connotation or whatever. It's still there's a big thriving industry, and a lot of founders haven't even explored that channel. So I think through today's session, probably Anshul gets new perspective, Nick gets new perspective, and all of us also learn something more, right? So
Mhm.
Anshul, I'll bring you back in a bit, just so that to take your final thoughts as well after this segment where we all are going to just talk about cold calling structures and how do we go about doing it, and then Nick is gonna talk about his company and also just share his experience of cold calling. I actually was trying to get him to cold call live on the live stream, but it was too last minute. But it'll be fun to do that maybe next session. But definitely, we'd love to know just how your audience reacts. So maybe I'll call you in, Nick, in a bit. You can feel free to stay on while listening, and I'll bring you in a bit as soon as I give you a cue. How about that?
Sounds good.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Aryan and Elisa. So first thing first, tell me about your favorite team in FIFA. If you see there's some jerseys here, I'm gonna take your guess on which jersey is this, and just to know your football knowledge. And also I'm trying to plug in my brother's page called Jersey 2. I'm doing this podcast in a very last minute makeshift at his place because ironically he broke his ankle, had a fracture while playing soccer. so
Oh no.
so he's outside. I'm taking care of him while doing this, but I was excited to do this, so that's why. So this is fun. Do you know this jersey? Elisa, do you know?
No, I'm gonna let you down. We're gonna start on a bad note here. I don't.
Really? Okay. Just make a wild guess, if you like it. Just make a wild guess.
The black jersey that's behind you.
Yeah.
Um. Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
Aryan would know.
I, I I would hope I know. I mean, it's not coming to me for some reason. Is that an alternate kit?
Yeah, it is an alternate kid. Yes.
Interesting. That's
Which
the
one is it?
Canadian alternate kit.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
Canada, man. It's
fun.
Canada.
Nice, nice.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
love that.
So this is the jersey where they won the most matches. It's kind of the lucky jersey for Canada. So I really like it. So my son also has the same one. What about this one?
Uh-oh.
Any idea?
That's the German kit.
Yeah, of course. There's a little flag here.
Classic.
Any do you even follow, Elisa, any team in soccer this time? Did you follow?
I didn't, and mostly because I didn't know how to watch, and I didn't have anyone to watch with.
Oh,
And
okay.
I feel like under those circumstances, it would have looked a lot different. Like, say I had people that were really into soccer to watch with, I would have definitely watched and probably picked a team.
Yeah.
So I don't want to let you down. I do love sports and I really love soccer, but I didn't get too involved this
Which
time.
team do you like though? Which team do you like otherwise?
I used to say that I was a Chelsea fan, which out of England, but I just kind of picked that to be a bandwagon.
Bandwagon.
That is crazy
Yeah.
because I am a Chelsea fan.
Oh no way! I have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Chelsea
yeah.
scarf. When I traveled to London, I bought a Chelsea scarf and went and toured the stadium. But I can't say I'm a true fan, but I can change that.
We know
That's
those.
good.
We do know those fans, so which can change. But I'll make a pitch for Liverpool maybe on the side. Okay, so I'm a Liverpool fan. So and this has been since 2005, the night of
Okay.
Istanbul, when they reversed. They were losing 3-0 to AC Milan, and then they reversed that. So I've been a fan since then. And my dog, who was 14 when she passed away, her name was Chelsea. I think Aryan, I told you about her. So, so because my brother is a Manchester United fan, so it was always natural to keep that dot. So I have a Chelsea connection, basically.
Glad to know.
That's
That's enough,
awesome.
right? That's enough. So great, great. So one last one. This should be an
Uh-oh.
easy one. Where is that one? Okay, there's this one. How about this one?
I'll let Alyssa go for that one because that's too
No,
easy.
don't put me on the spot.
Okay, I'll
Is it
show you. I'll
USA?
show you. For
Is it
Alyssa, I think
USA?
because she doesn't watch much, I'll show you the full thing.
Wait, I really don't know.
We'll give you a clue. Kylian Mbappe.
Wait, I still don't know.
Real Madrid. This is actually France's kid. So
Oh, cool.
it's a pretty cool one. So anyway, so Elisa, I already said I'm gonna let you down, so that's fine. So she already set the bar low. So okay, don't ask too much. But now jumping right in, tell me now, about Elisa. You had a great framework about how to educate people on this, right? So tell me a little bit about that. When someone wants to cold call, right? Where do they start, and how do we go about it? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I'm a really big believer in just starting and getting on the phone. I used to say 90% of having success on the phone is just volume and consistency. So doing it on a daily basis and dedicating a certain amount of dials or a time frame that you're going to call each day, that can carry you 80% of the way. And until recently, I've started to get a little bit more scientific in what I'm doing, where there's actually a proper way that you can handle the cold call. And so it would be interesting, Aryan, to hear your take on this. If there's some sort of framework, some people call it a screenplay or writing a script. I don't necessarily follow a script in the sense of I have to read something verbatim, but I do go in with at least like the beginning, which is something that we could practice would be openers. And so the most basic opener would be something called a permission-based opener, where you essentially are just going to ask the prospect for an opportunity to pitch them your services. And so typically that just looks like, hey, so-and-so, this is Elisa. I know I'm catching you out of the blue here, calling you out of the blue. I'm a bit of an interruption. Do you mind if I maybe grab half a minute? I could tell you why I'm giving you a call, and then you could let me know if it's relevant or not. And you
Yeah.
pause there, and typically someone will say, sure, I'll give you 30 seconds. What you got for me?
Yeah. So you see, how many people say that to you, Elisa?
Give me a yes.
Yeah.
I would say a good amount.
Good
Transparently,
amount.
I would say a good amount. I mean, you'll get every once in a while where someone's like, I don't have time or day to, is this a sales call? I don't have time for this. You will, and then you'll get the people that are just like, sure, like you got 27 seconds. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. So in this first part of how you saying the first thing,
Mhm.
it's basically your personality, your confidence in your voice, how pleasing you
Exactly.
are as a
Mhm.
personality, as a person, and then their intent to listen. Those are the
Mhm.
two major things, right? Because there's
Yeah.
nothing else you have pitched so far. You've not even said anything about their product or your product. It's just a flat, uh, how are you doing? Do you have 30 seconds to talk, right?
Mhm.
And if you
Yep.
say that with confidence, you're saying with, at least you had 50% or more success rate with just that.
I would say so. I would say if not more. And depending on what industry you're calling into, I used to call into auto body shops. And so I used to actually say, hey, so and so, I'm going to be honest, this is a cold call. Any chance you'll give me 30 seconds? And I would just say up front, it was a cold call. And that was really successful. I had like a 90% success rate saying that, calling into blue collar. And they would get a chuckle out of it. I'd be like, "You're gonna hate me, but this is a Monday morning cold call. Any chance you already answered? Any chance you'll give me 30 seconds?" And I would say with just that alone, I would have success as well.
Oh, wow. So that's just being honest and just picking up the call and make the calls. That's the lesson number
Mhm.
one. Be
Yep.
yourself, have the right
Yeah.
energy, and just make that fucking call, right? Just make that
Mhm.
call, right? I think
Mhm.
that itself solves a lot of things, and a lot of people don't even do that. I think
Mhm.
that's what I want to take it out from this piece, that just make that call, show your personality, and that would at least get you the next 30 seconds or a minute where you can pitch your product, right? But
Exactly.
Aryan, you had a different way of starting the calls, right? I think your style is more like sometimes a little bit homework, right? You told me about the opener you had a good success rate with.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So when on Alyssa's point about the PBO, so the permission-based openers, we are 100% in agreement there. So I've tested different types of openers, jumping straight to the pitch, jumping into X, Y, and Z. I think over 30 or 40 different openers I've tested out. And on her point too about being scientific about it, I 100% agree with that as well. Because at the end of the day, you're doing a lot of volume and you have to kind of measure what that volume would translate into. And then you just follow the numbers essentially, right?
Mhm.
So 100% in agreement with the permission-based opener. And
Yeah.
um, when it comes to the opener that I use, the one that I've seen the best success from. So before I kind of dive into what that opener is, the reason why I say that's the highest successful one is the metrics that I'd be tracking. There are a few metrics. The one that I want to focus on here is the connect to conversation metric. So you have the dial to connect, then you have the connect to conversation, and then you have the conversation to meeting. So the dial to connect is essentially the data quality of the phone numbers. That's not really something you can change in your opener or tonality and so on. But then the second metric, the connect to conversation, which is essentially every single person that picks up their phone, out of those that pick up, how many of them would stay on the phone long enough for more than 60 seconds for it to count as a conversation? And
Hmm.
the opener that seems to get me the highest connect to conversation above 70%, it was 70 to 75%, was the following one, right? So it'd be like "Hey, Chetan, how's it going?" And then you'd be like, "Good. Who's
Doing
this?"
well, doing well. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Thanks for asking. Chetan, my name is Aryan, calling you with company. Just to be totally upfront with you, I was just stalking you on LinkedIn. I saw that you're the founder at Honest Create. Could I just steal a couple seconds, tell you why I gave you a ring?
Yeah, depending on my mood that day, I might say yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would depend on person to person, but that
Yeah,
opener itself seems to get me the highest conversations out of that as well,
yeah,
which is what the goal of the opener is, right? I mean,
yeah.
everything else aside, the opener should be optimized for earning 30 more seconds. So that's everything that we've noticed, and we're in agreement there.
I'm actually shocked by how simple this is, and people don't do that. I mean, I've not learned anything crazy here. It's just good energy and intent to pick up the phone, call, and okay with the no, right? I think
Mhm.
people are not okay with the no. Half the people don't make that call because somehow it spoils their mood, ruins their day, or they overthink about that too much, right? I think just being okay with no is also something you should be okay with, right?
100%.
Totally.
I think rejection is part of a
Mhm.
cold call.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Alisa, how did
to
you build that
expect it.
muscle of getting a no from how since how long has that been happening?
Honestly, it probably took a full 8 months or so until I stopped having an emotional reaction when someone would tell me no or hang up on me or say something mean. I
Yeah,
would we're human, and sometimes you get told that and you do feel like disappointed. You're trying your best, and it would probably took like 8 months for me to no longer have like an initial reaction to that.
yeah,
You kind of have to be crazy and train yourself in your emotions. um, but yeah, just reminding, like, it's a lot of cold calling is also self-talk. And so when you get that no, you remind yourself, okay, every no is closer to my next yes. And so
yeah.
I actually used to have a notepad next to me, and I would write out like one to 10, and I would cross out every time I got a no, and my goal was to get to 10 no's, because then I
Okay.
knew if I just focused on getting my no's, it's going to lead to the yes that I'm looking for.
Oh wow.
On that
It's
note,
like
too,
it's
as well.
that's
Mhm.
so
Yeah, sorry,
cool,
go ahead.
right? That's a good visual way of doing it.
Mhm.
It's like when you're doing a bench press, you're trying to put more weight on you so you fail, but you at least stretch yourself, right? Like,
Mhm.
that's what I'm doing these days, trying to go over and over every set so that even if you fail, you're succeeding because you know somewhere that it will help you psychologically, right? I think Alisa, you're that's a great psychological hack. So much of it is psychology and just your personality, right? I think
Mhm.
there are people who do cold calling and there are people who cannot, right? And there's just two kind of people in this world, I guess. One of the thing is just people like you who are okay to get to know. I think a lot of founders are like that because they are used to getting a no either from an investor or the initial clients. Even if they don't do cold call, Anshul will tell you, Nick would tell you, they're always calling people and sometimes they don't get it. But that's also okay, right? You're getting no anyway. So why not get a no while being on the call, get
Mhm.
embarrassed at the max. Okay, fine, sir. Sorry for your time. This is it. Have a good day. That's all it takes, right? So, Aryan, how have you built that muscle? How many no's you got? Like, what was your first no back in school,
Oh,
or
my first no? Yeah, I
that
mean,
can go back to back when you started dating, maybe, right?
oh, 100%. Yeah, I got too many no's back then too. But yeah, when it comes to calling as well, I mean, there's a big reframe which my old manager, who is one of the best cold callers out there, Max Wu, shout out.
Yeah,
But Alyssa can attest to that as well. But there's a big reframe that he kind of instilled into us, where it's like if you think of every dial as a dollar, then all you have to do is just make more dials, right? Because at
yeah,
the end of the day, it's all just numbers. You make
yeah.
100 dials, and you have 10 of those pick up, and of those 10, X will go through a conversation, and X will become a meeting, and as a result, you just have to do the math backwards, and you think of each dial as a dollar. You just know you have to keep doing more, right? So then after a certain point, you don't even think about it as a rejection. You're like, okay, cool, on to the next. It's just part of the system. It's part of how it works.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And what is the next metric? Once that first metric is, what is it called? You there's a term for it, right?
Yeah, so the first metric would be the dial to connect, which would
Dial
be
to
the data
connect.
quality, essentially. So, for example, if you have a list of 100 phone numbers and you have a 10% dial to connect, of those 100 that you're calling through, 10 of them would pick up their phone. But that's something you can't really adjust as someone who's calling. That just comes down to data and where you're getting that data. Then the second metric would be your connects to conversation. So, out of every person that picks up the phone, how many of those stay on the call long enough for it to be counted as a conversation, which is longer than 60 seconds. And that's where your opener essentially would do its job. And then the metric after that is the conversation to meeting. So out of the people that stayed on the line long enough for more than 60 seconds, how many of those booked a meeting with you? And then that would come down to a lot of, different methodologies. Did you dive into the pain well enough? Was your ask for the meeting kind of at the wrong time? Did you not have a good lead magnet, offering free value and so on? You can kind of play around to see where each metric suffers when it comes to industry averages or comparables. And then you would adjust what's wrong in your pitch accordingly to ensure that you're hitting the right numbers.
Mhm.
So that's the other metric, right? Like first is totally dependent on the data, and the second one is basically if you get your own personality to get out and you get the next 60 seconds. So now coming to the next 60 seconds is your actual pitch, right? Like whatever you're selling, right? What is
Mhm.
your right now? What is your pitch? What is the one product that currently you're doing cold call for, and what is it like? Can we hear that pitch?
Yeah. Alyssa, do you want to go ahead first?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think which client I would want to pitch.
Am I your client for any of like Honest Create? You know our business, so if there's a potential client that I can be client for, I would love to test your pitch here
Will you
and
take a
just see,
meeting?
just see.
All three of mine are not in this realm. I mean, I guess I could do.
You
I
can do
also
cold call for me though, Lisa. I mean, for Honest Create. So maybe we can talk about that. Like if I pick up a call and I talk to you, and you just talk about your own services to me, what do you talk? I'll be very interested
um
to know that.
to sell my own cold calling services to you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could run a mock like that really quickly.
That we can do, right? So
Yeah,
Alisa, hi, you know about Honest Create, right? And or if you don't know, I can tell you. Like, what? How do you want to do this?
yeah, yeah. Give me a quick rundown on your business model and who you're serving.
Sure. So we are in the business of storytelling in presentations. So we are a very specific business where founders, come to us essentially to tell their story, to help them raise, millions of dollars. Typically,
Mhm.
Seed Plus is our, core customer. Somebody raising a Series A or a big seed round, and how to tell the story in the deck is what we do. And we've done that for over 500 clients in the last, 5 years. Help raise about 700 million. So that's what we do, and those are the kind of clients we want to get to us and cold call for.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna pretend I'm calling you. It's
Sure.
ringing.
All right. Hi.
Hey, Chetan. Is this Chetan?
Yeah, this is Chetan. I mean, you almost got that right.
Chetan, I apologize. Hey,
No
Chetan,
problem.
this is Alyssa. I know I'm totally calling you out of the blue here. Mind if I grab maybe half a minute? I could tell you why I'm reaching out. You could let me know if it's relevant.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Go ahead, Elisa.
I appreciate it. So I know that you work with Series A startup companies, helping them, tell their stories. Really love your business. Wanted to reach out and see what you are doing to source new business opportunities. I currently support 3 AI tech startups, and I do exactly what I'm doing now: cold call to source them new
Yeah.
business. Is that
So,
something
Elisa,
that? Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
sure, Elisa. So I'm actually not an AI startup since we are a service-based company. But
Mhm.
the only thing I'm doing right now is just doing a live stream. Maybe I can pitch you if you want to come to the live stream. But yeah, I'm not doing any cold calling yet. Is that something that you feel is relevant for my business, though, Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, have you ever tried it? What are you currently doing for sourcing new business?
All I'm doing is doing these live stream and going out in events and doing my own events like Pitch and Pickle, stand-up comedy and startups. I just like the whole, meeting person one-on-one and just building those relationships, because a lot of our business is actually around building the relationship and trust. Because if they
Sure.
are coming to us for helping them raise a 10 million, $15 million round, they need a strategic story, and they need to trust us as a consultant. That's why cold calling for me has typically never worked. Even at events, when I go to events, I'm always like, hey, I do this. I'm never able to convert those people, versus if I get them through, my content and just giving them workshops. So I don't know if it'll work or not.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Have you ever done cold calling following an event, post an event after you've gathered some leads of people that you met?
I have done WhatsApp cold messages, sort of like people I've met, and or maybe on LinkedIn. That's the channel I usually do. Yes.
Okay. And would you say you have a pretty good conversion rate there from those conferences?
Yeah, I think with all due modesty, we have great conversion when somebody comes on Zoom, getting them to become a client, because we already filtered the people who come on Zoom. They know that they need a Series A good story, or they're a VC fund who are looking for an LP deck. We also help VCs tell their story. So usually they know that what they're coming for, and when they see our work and our process, we have a good conversion there. But getting them to the Zoom is what I'll probably can consider using your services if you tell me the right reasons to use it.
Well, yeah, exactly. As you said, getting them to sit down for that Zoom is the next step in your process. And so if you have a list, even from the past year, of people that you've interacted with, have seen your content, give me that list of leads and I'll get them to take that next step to sit down on a call with you. I would argue there's probably a lot of people that are interested in your work, but they just need the nudge to find a scheduled time to meet with you. And you could be leaving money on the table by not nurturing those leads.
Oh yeah, that's what my wife says. I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. So she's also my co-founder. So she brings in that part where the money is important, and I bring in the part of the marketing and sales. So I get it. I think you hit me with the nudge, and I get it. I can actually, take out the all the information from my events. But would you be able to do that with me? Like sit and make calls and show me how it's done, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to learn the skill yourself, or most of the founders I work with, they do not have the time to be on the phone right now. And so let me take care of that for you. You'll get access to all the audio calls, the transcripts, the scripting that I make for you. And eventually, if you wanted to do it yourself, or if you wanted to bring someone internally, now you'll have the exact roadmap on how to do that.
Now that sounds good, but how do you charge this for? Is this a session which is free for me, or are you gonna charge for me? Like, are you being too nice to me? What's happening here?
Too nice. It really depends.
It all depends. Okay, we'll take it offline. Fair enough. But good chatting with you, Elisa. This was good stuff. Thank you for doing
Yeah.
this. Hope you enjoyed the cold call. I mean, it wasn't really cold, but
Yeah.
it's a founder who typically hasn't used cold calling. It's a service business, but as you said it right, I think the thing I got from your this thing is the nudge and leaving money on the table by just nudging those people. Sometimes it is about the nudge. If you don't
Mhm.
ask, you don't get, right? Aryan, any thoughts on that? Like, you know my business too, but probably how do you think that you will probably hit something else as well? Do you think anything else that might lead to more conversion?
Yeah, no, I love that approach. In terms of how I would actually go about the cold calls is I think I would use a different framework which I currently implement. So how mine would kind of flow would be start off with the opener, as we discussed, the PBO
Yeah,
opener. Once you get them to give you time, then you jump into the pain statement. So what the pain statement is essentially it's the first question that you would ask to the prospect as to how I would kind of go about this is like, awesome, yeah, appreciate you giving me that time. I speak to a lot of X, Y, and Z titles. For example, if I were to be pitching, say I'm with Honest Create, right? I'm trying to pitch Honest Create on a cold call.
yeah,
I'm calling a founder right now that maybe raised seed and they're
yeah,
looking to potentially raise Series A. So I'd
yeah,
build a list out and so on, and then I'd run an opener. Hey, name, this is Aryan calling with X1Z. Saw you on LinkedIn. Could I steal a couple seconds? They say yes. Then I'd be like, yeah, really appreciate that. The reason for the call is I actually do speak to a lot of founders, and um, founders that raise seed or pre-seed, and they often tell me that when it comes to raising the next round, whether it's Series A, Series B, it's a pain in the ass, right? I mean, there's a big time sink when it comes to spending months kind of figuring out how to go about the storytelling aspect, creating the presentations, finding the right people to reach out to it, and honestly, it's just a big hassle. After all that work, you don't really end up getting that money raised, and it's just a time sink and a waste of capital on your end. Just calling to see, is that something that you might relate to as well? So that's what I
Yeah,
like to call the pain statement.
That's
The
good.
yeah,
first question that you kind of would throw out there, and then they'd
yeah,
either agree with that. So usually, my goal for the pain statement is make it so wide enough that everyone in this space will say yes. So, for example, when I was selling data over at Landbase in the previous company, I would be like, yeah, no, they often tell me that data quality is something that's top of mind. And it's hard to actually find and pinpoint that niche audience that would actually be looking for what you guys are providing. Every sales leader out there says yes. It's something
yeah,
that's so wide that it just the point of the pain statement is to get into a longer conversation.
yeah, yeah.
So
I like it. I think the pain statement part and just making it broader so a lot more people can relate to it, it's a great hack. So that's actually pretty brilliant because I think what you also mentioned as a pain statement was almost like I'm gonna steal this thing. I mean, because that's what we say, right? That if you're feeling any pain point throughout your journey, because it's just not about the deck. Sometimes it's just about putting your thoughts in, which investor is saying what, getting it all together. Founder need to take out time. That's the real pain statement. So I mean, AI can build deck for you. That's not something that we sell. We sell that you don't know what to ask the AI, right? And that asking will only come if you talk to us, because this is what we do. So we probably should do live someday, and once we get into that rhythm, maybe we can do live calls for for people who show up here, and that's the plan. I spoke to both of you, and probably we can do it for Honest Create too. But thank you. This was great. This was great for us to know how we can structure your cold call. Doesn't matter you selling a service or a business. And on that note, I know that Nick and also Anshul is there as a founder. Anshul, I know that you have to leave also, but anything that you learned today and any thoughts that you have now from possibly using cold call, not just for your clients, but also for your company, Vodex. And you can talk about Vodex in a statement too, so people know, but I want
Correct.
to hear your thoughts now.
No, no, absolutely. So yeah, quickly about Vodex. So Vodex is into voice AI virtual agents for handling inbound and outbound call. And actually, in the initially when I said I'm against cold calling, I'm against basically AI doing the cold calling because actually AI is kind of banned with via TCPA. TCPA says you cannot do robocalls or recorded calls or AI calls. So that is not allowed. But 100% I am okay with humans doing cold call because that is completely legal with TCPA as well. And the way
Yeah,
Elisa showed today and Aryan showed today, I'm pretty confident it will definitely work. So yeah, you just need to be confident. And as Aryan mentioned, you need to talk about the pain point and you need to talk about what exactly they are looking for. You
yeah,
need to definitely do some research. You cannot
yeah,
just blindly call people, but if you understand what they're looking for, what's their pain point, and if you
yeah,
talk about that, definitely things will work out. It's just that, people might be busy sometime.
yeah,
They might say, I'm in the middle of a webinar, call me later on,
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. But yeah, once you get hold of them and you say the right things, I think definitely it will
So
work.
what was the last cold call you did? Did you ever do a cold call in this journey of Forex, even to an investor or some
I
potential?
do cold call. I do cold call, but what I do, like Elisa also mentioned, I do cold call to people who are like attending webinar, like sorry, attending events and
Yeah,
webinar also. Like I
yeah.
came actually US to attend an event, so I've got a
Okay.
list of attendees, 600 people, 700 people. So I
Yeah.
actually called them and said like, I see you are attending the event next week, so we are doing this. Can we meet at the event? Would love to show you,
Nice.
understand, what you're doing and. We are seeing this problem in the market. Are you also seeing this problem? So yeah, like the people who are attending event, and I'm anyway gonna meet them at the event. So before them, like if we can do some kind of warm connection during the cold call, I think
Yeah.
that works. Yeah.
So that also is cold call. Good to know. Good to know. I think you're right. I am also a fan of. I'm not saying AI cannot scale your outbound or cold call operations. I mean, it can, but if you don't have enough humans in the loop, if you don't have humans to do the initial 50, 100 cold calls to maybe then train the AI agent, then you're setting up for failure, because that's what probably AI won't do. And I can say that out loud. We have seen AI will kill this, AI will kill that, AI will kill these jobs. Eventually, it's the human skills, and probably cold calling is that skill that is not gonna be replaced by AI. And Elisa and Aryan are smart to be in that career. like, you know, doesn't matter AI or not, right?
Well,
Nick,
it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I just have a whole series on LinkedIn about called "Human in the Loop." That's all
yeah,
about the fact that AI does not work
yeah,
without humans. They
Yeah.
can't replace anything. They can't replace the simplest of jobs.
yeah,
They certainly aren't replacing any humans. What they
yeah,
do is tasks really fast. So
yeah,
they can give the illusion of replacement,
yeah,
but it's a closed loop. They can't like there's no reasoning, there's no rationale. They are just auto complete engines.
yeah,
So if you give them enough prep, they can auto complete an entire conversation, but it's
yeah,
not their conversation. They
yeah.
didn't,
It's
they
and
can't
I
create a conversation.
Exactly. I think human in the loop is the biggest differentiator right now. I keep telling the founders also, and even
Yeah.
Anshul and me, we were discussing, because Anshul is raising, his round two. But I said the real differentiator is how Anshul and his team trains the AI agents, right? It's not the tech. Everybody can build the tech, right? Tech is
Right.
easy, and that's what's gonna differentiate more. The young sort of people out there, the Gen Z. I hope you are not getting too bored. Yash and Dia. All this is all business information. They're design students, but talk about just AI in general, and how anxious you are in this age where you are just seeing the AI from the last 2 years, 3 years exploding. Any
Uh,
thoughts?
Chetan, sorry to interrupt. I need to drop off. I got another call, but great talking to everyone. Yeah, great.
Anshul, before you go, you need to promise that we'll do cold call for you then, okay? And you'll have to
Absolutely.
get us the data, and we'll make that happen in the next episode, okay?
Absolutely. Sounds
Take care.
amazing.
Bye. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Bye. Okay, were you both sleeping, or you just woke up, or what happened here? Huh?
No, no. I think, to be very honest, I slept a little in between. But when Nick said, the illusion of AI, because like, from the moment our college started or university started, we have been listening this, now AI is here, ChatGPT is here, because we are in the design industry, especially for me, because I'm specializing in graphics and branding. So I've always heard this, AI will replace, or, AI will get your jobs. But I think what he said was very on point, that it just does your task very good or very fast, not good actually. So you need to have a taste, because it can give you an illusion of AI, that okay, it can replace you, but it can never replace you, because the human loop is there. Very interesting to hear that. Love the
I
statement.
like how you plugged in taste, because he's building a branding agency. We were discussing his headline. I'm like, his branding agency is called Marinate, Studio Marinate, and
Yeah.
and and it's about the taste, and that's how we brainstormed that. Hey, AI cannot, get the branding because they cannot give you the taste, right? So that's a good one, Yash. And Dia, what did you learn from all this? You're an interior designer, right? So are you gonna cold call people now? Pick up the call and say,
I do cold emailing a lot, so this was interesting. Like whenever I'm trying to get any opportunity and everything where I don't know people in the country or anything, I cold email people a lot. So this was
that
interesting. Like it's
cold
a nice.
calling requires a different kind of mindset, but there will be point in your life you will be doing cold call for sure. So just make note of this today, okay? Don't sleep on it, okay? So yeah, Lisa, you have some thoughts.
I was gonna say I'm a really big believer that everyone should cold call at some point in their life, and just cold calling alone will teach you a lot about like self-talk, how to believe in yourself, get through the nose, handle the rejection. It also helps you learn how to communicate better. If you want to be a leader for your team, get on the phone, cold call, show that you're hungry for some wins. I don't know. I'm just a really big believer that everyone should cold call and everyone can cold call.
Yeah. And and they're also gonna focus on getting more Gen Z audience who can learn from these live sessions. So both of them are focusing on that as well. They get more students, to come and learn. Because if you are 18, 20, and you get to learn all this, I mean, I don't know how many colleges in the world are giving you this sort of information, live information. So that's the other plan which they both are excited about. Aryan, the content so far and how we're doing it, you think it'll be good to have an audience just coming and just viewing this and asking questions like as students?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic, right? I mean, always good to have people that are have a fresh perspective to always be kind of figuring out exactly what's going on, understanding what's going on, asking the right questions. Because obviously we could be chatting a lot of stuff which wouldn't make sense at a high level, and then obviously breaking it down and figuring out what works out and what's a good point of it is a great fresh perspective.
Fresh perspective. You, how old are you? You were 25, 26. How old are you?
That's our guess. I'm 23.
You're 23? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Two
see,
more years, and then your brain is complete, and you'll
Right?
actually have a revelation. I've raised a number of you. Trust me on this. In about 2 years, you're going to have a wonderful perspective on your world. You're well ahead of yourself. But
Very.
yeah, around 25, you kind of finish everything off, and you have everything completes for you internally. So look.
I thought that was the 40, but yeah, I think 25 is
No,
that age
that's a different realization. We'll go over that some other.
too.
But one of the things before we break up, I think that is poignant of this is Chetan said, "I'm not learning anything. This is stuff that I already knew," and I think that's important. That there's two keys to the things that I walked away, and I really loved hearing it from the younger generations, plural, because they're all younger than me. The idea that the PBO, obviously, you are interrupting their day. Ask permission. My big thing is, hey, am I catching you at an okay time? I immediately disarm any kind of, oh God, another salesperson, because I'm saying, hey, you're the most important person on the call. And I liked Aaron's talking about cyber stalking, and that I know, because here's the deal. This is a business to business call almost all the time. That guy on the other side of the phone, he's supposed to be taking your call. This whole dance is the whole business dance.
Yeah,
So he's a participant, like you're a participant. So as long as you're not offensive, he's got to play because has his needs. His whole job is to, bring on vendors that are going to help him in his business. So if you keep that in mind, it also helps you with the nose, because one of the things I do at the nose is, hey, that wasn't my customer. I'm glad we got that over with quickly, because it would have been worse if I had a 5-minute conversation with him and then found out he wasn't our customer. One of the
yeah,
things that we're not talking about today, because we're always about, getting the deal, is the most important thing in sales is qualification.
yeah,
Any minute you spend in front of somebody that's not your customer is a complete waste of time.
yep,
So the faster you can find out that this guy ain't right, the happier you should be. Wow, 3 seconds. That was a win. I'm going to move on, because you got to look at it from the right perspective.
yeah,
Again, Lisa said, it's not a no. I'm not looking for no's. I'm looking for the yes. And if these guys are no's, I got to get them through quickly.
Yeah.
Keeping the scorecard. How fast am I getting to where I'm actually going to score? Those are all great tricks.
yeah,
Reframe
Yeah.
the thing. But the one thing I tell everybody is, remember, you're part of the system. You're part of what his success is getting the right vendor. So he's
Yeah.
looking for you. You just got to not mess it up.
don't mess it up. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, again, going back to you don't ask, you don't get, right? Like people don't even ask. So Nick, now we want to ask you to talk about your product, Studioverse,
Sure.
and talk about your pitch, and maybe Elisa or even me try to do like maybe an opener, or maybe try to do it our way. And that's the agenda for the next few minutes. How about that?
Yeah, so I
We can
actually
do that.
broke down
Absolutely.
What is it?
Studio versus Motion. Actually, I was researching on the website and I noticed one of the ICPs that you target is SaaS companies for product demos and walkthroughs. And I have a prepped cold call, script or workflow following my framework. So excited to share that after hearing your thoughts on how you approach it today.
Absolutely. So one of the things we talked about at the beginning was not being cold. So the idea is you shouldn't be cold. They're cold. You shouldn't be. You should understand who you're walking into and who you're talking to and what services they might want. Now, we do business videos as one of our major focuses here. But that is a generic term. I mean, there's, like you were mentioning, there's different video. What an SAS company is going to want is a heck of a lot different than an SMB. They're doing branding. And we also, one of our major market is social media management agencies, the people that are actually handling customers who need folks to provide the content for them. So we
Yeah.
work at all those levels. So knowing who I'm talking to kind of gives me a sense of what their needs are. Because that's what you want to establish at the beginning. One of the things that we mentioned a number of times here, but it wasn't a focus, was trust. The whole point of a sales engagement is to achieve trust. People will not buy from people they don't trust. Like and know is one of those kind of ways of getting there, but it's not the most important part. The most important part of establishing trust is building empathy, showing that you know what their pain is. Again, going into the pain point, will go much further than anything else that you can say, because that's what they're looking for, someone who understands what they're doing. So when you start right out with, hey, so in my case, I will be saying, what are you doing for video in your marketing services? If they're doing like one of the last cold calls I made was almost a year ago, was real estate.
Yeah.
Just calling real estate agents up, bang. So what role is video playing in your marketing right now? Open-ended question. It's a demand problem. We're in a situation right now where everybody needs marketing videos. So
Yeah.
it really just kind of opens up, and he just spills out all his problems. He spills out all the points that I'm going to use to close on him. And it's game on. So really within a couple of seconds, you can engage folks in the cold call, but you want to get to the point where you can shut up and start listening, because that's the goal. And even if they don't become a customer, which is what people have been alluding to all along, is you're going to get great market information out of this. You're going to get an understanding of what triggers these people, what things that they're looking for. And then that can be rolled back in again to training your IIs or building your decks or all those other materials. So
So
that's
basically
how
you start with saying like, how are videos performing for you right now in your marketing? That's the question that opens up
yeah.
some conversation, right? If they are in, because typically it may
If
be a
they're
pinch
not
point.
using video, that's a good point. If
Yeah,
they
if
are
they
using video and has been tremendously successful and they have it all covered, that's also a good point, because I can learn why.
yeah.
How did you get that coverage? What are you
Yeah.
doing? And then find out if he's got any, points of failure that could
And
be.
also there are a lot of videos that some companies are already doing, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can maybe check their YouTube and just see, like, how are you
Oh,
doing this?
absolutely. Again, that's part of the whole warm-ups thing. But like I
Yeah.
said, I have had situations where in the cold call, we literally have a list that you're working from. You get that list in the morning. As you're going through the list, you're doing searches in one of your screens here. You have their LinkedIn profiles up. You have that stuff going. You can't only spend like a few minutes on that. So you got to
So
be
Nick,
good at kind of figuring out what those people are quickly.
Lisa, if you have any thoughts, you can share. Then I have a question to just understand Nick's proposition also better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just one thing I was going to say in terms of building trust. One way you could do that as well is to name drop. So, if you can name drop, I work with XYZ, some reputable companies. And then also when you go into that pain statement, if you can really illustrate that pain and speak into their situation, they're going to say, oh, okay, this person clearly knows what they're talking about because they described my situation so well. He
And
clearly
that's the
has some sort
empathy.
of insights. And then that also builds trust of like, oh, this is someone that
Exactly.
has expertise, has knowledge. And then I've also just have been thinking of when you are on the cold call, you're going from like fear, you answer you're a stranger. So fear to trust and like gaining their trust and then getting them to be curious and then to commitment. And so like you're walking the prospect from fear, trust, curiosity to commitment. And so if you can get them to walk through that process psychologically, that's how you get them from you're a stranger. Okay, maybe I have some trust. Okay, you have something that I'm maybe a little bit curious about and I want more information. Okay, let's commit to a meeting so I can get that information.
Absolutely. So when I was talking about trust, I broke it down into 4 E's, with
Okay.
empathy being the first one,
Okay.
experience,
Sure.
expertise, and energy being the other three
Nice.
E's.
Yeah.
And when you work
Nice.
those, that's the sales process. So when you're pitching, you think about it from that perspective. You're not talking about yourself, you're talking about that person from your
Mhm.
perspective. So
Mhm.
you're going to talk about experience that's related to their work, like you were just saying, those
Mhm.
name dropping customers, what
Yeah.
my expertise is, how long I've been doing this, how well I do it. This is the thing they're actually buying is your expertise. And
Yeah.
then of course you got to keep high energy up. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be engaged. Those go, the empathy and the engagement side of it can carry you through anything. You can talk to people all day long just based on empathy and engagement.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll talk to
Just
you even if they're not buying, even if they're not even in your customer space. As a matter of fact, the problem that you'll start having is I got to get these people off the phone because I got to get on to my customers.
yeah.
That's where you want to be. And
Yeah.
and those kind of key things will do it for you.
So let's do one thing, right? I know all of
Sure.
you were nice enough to extend this, keep a little buffer, but firstly, thoughts on how you liking this as a live stream idea? Is it good, Elisa?
I think it's really good. If I was listening in, I would be like, wow, this is really good and valuable information.
Yeah, yeah. We want to make it valuable, or we want to make it fun. There's always this fine line, right? Like trying to engage all kind of audience. But I think if we get the right audience, this is sort of which are founders essentially.
Yeah,
This would
well, you're
be
not. I mean, somebody who's like a factory worker is not going to find this at all amusing
yeah, of course.
and not at all interesting.
Yeah,
So you definitely already have a target. But if you are a founder or you're in sales, this is your lifeblood. These are the people are going to be looking for the transcripts.
yeah, yeah. That's the idea. Like keep doing it, and how about we do one thing? Since we kept a little buffer, I hope you're all okay with it. Nick, you're gonna pitch it to Aryan Studioverse, and Aryan can put on a hat for instantly or land based, whatever you prefer, Aryan. Like as a founder, if Nick wants to pitch to you, maybe you can first explain the product, what it does, so that
Nah,
Nick
we'll go
has,
through it cold. We'll be a real cold call.
yeah, it should be a real cold call then, and
But,
then
but,
uh, and then
I
Elisa
just
can.
got Aaron's number. Someone told me that he might have some need for my service. I will call him up and say, "Hey, Aaron, this is Nick from Studioverse. Am I catching you at an okay time?"
Not too bad. Nick, do I know you?
No, I got my name from XYZ. He had mentioned that you might have some needs for business videos. We're a platform that builds business videos. How are you using video these days?
Where do you get this number?
I got it from XYZ.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm busy at the moment. Can you give me a call back?
Absolutely. What's a good time to reach you?
That was just a test. Go ahead.
That was actually good. That how do you handle the rejection, right?
Yeah, I wanted to see how Nick goes about that because I mean everyone has their own ways, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, just blasting forward. We're all busy, so you don't really want to waste a lot of time. So tell me a little bit about your marketing. Are you using video in your marketing now?
Video and marketing. Not really at the moment. I mean, we have custom walkthroughs, and then we have a couple walkthroughs on our landing page on the website. But no, we don't actually implement video today.
Okay, so it's just you're just doing explainer videos at this point.
No, we're actually a sales-led growth motion, so we don't have more of a product-led growth implementation. So when someone is on our website, they would book a call or a demo with us, and then we have a salesperson that would take it from there.
Okay, so you don't have any like process or technology or anything like that that needs to be explained or how the
Oh, we
process works?
No, we definitely do, but that's kind of the sales, the account executives roles. So when someone is interested, they book a call with our salesperson, and then from there, they'd kind of take it from there.
So you don't do any inbound at this point? Most of your stuff is outbound?
Good question. We do have inbound as well, actually,
Good.
but when they come through, it's via email, and then we send them some email marketing via blast, since we are a cold email platform as well. So that's what we implement.
So you're doing mostly email outbound?
Correct.
And are you using graphic components at all that? Have you tried video in your emails?
We have, but we notice it kind of affects deliverability when it comes to the email side of things. So we
Absolutely.
try to avoid that as well.
Absolutely. So we've worked a lot of techniques that way. I'm not sure if this is actually a fit for you, or if we really maybe XYZ was, mistaken. But perhaps with some of your clients and their marketing efforts, do you get involved with doing, bringing in packages of other marketing services that might not be in-house? Do you partner up with folks?
Potentially, yeah. So we ran a campaign with XYZ last week, and they helped us with a marketing campaign that we did on LinkedIn, for instance.
Ah, so maybe that's what he was thinking. But because we have a whole program, an affiliate program, a partner program, because basically just a little bit, if you have a minute about what Studioverse is, it's not just about generating videos. It's a AI powered platform that brings together artists in a collaborative workspace so they can generate this content with the businesses alongside. So it's kind of a video factory, if you will.
Mhm.
So if you have customers that are needing content to drive their marketing efforts, you could use Studioverse as like either a third party underneath you, or you can just do direct referrals, and we'll just take over the business and give you a cut at the back end. Is that something
Sounds
that you
very
really
interesting.
be interested
Yeah,
Damn,
let's set some time up. I was being very harsh on Nick, and he did a great job. I love that.
in?
amazing. I think
Please
Nick,
be
you did
harsh.
a great job of at least getting something out of the call, right?
I've been in sales for 30 years. I'd have to be somewhat of a masochist,
I
right?
had to be someone, yeah. No, that was great. So Alisa, I'm gonna pitch Studioverse to you now, okay?
Okay.
You're gonna be the founder of your own company, which does cold calling for other clients, and just be yourself. And
Okay.
let's see if you like using Studioverse by the end of it. Hey, Alisa.
Hello.
Hi, I got your number from XYZ and I just loved your videos on LinkedIn. I thought I definitely want to talk to you. Do you have 30 seconds?
Oh, well, that means so much. Thanks. I really appreciate it. What's this about?
So I've seen you doing some really great videos, and do you edit them yourself? Like, and how often are you using it? Are they working for you in the first place?
Um, yeah, the videos I edit them myself. I'm actually just going to TikTok and use this TikTok's editing, and not sure if that's best practice, but that's how I do it. And they're working for me. I mean, they're getting me engagements, but and some inbounds.
Awesome. So how about I tell you that apart from just doing TikTok videos, which are also great, you can actually get really qualified, good quality editors at just a fraction of a cost. So you can do these videos without any hassle, and you just focus on closing your deals. How about that?
I mean, yeah, that sounds great. Are these videos that I have to film myself, or what kind of videos are these?
Okay, tell me a little bit more now that we're talking. I'm actually been doing videos for 10 years now. So, Elisa, if nothing, I'll give you some really good ideas on your videos. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm open for it.
Awesome. So tell me, what's the objective of your videos? What are the kind of videos you do? Like, tell me just three types.
I like to have some videos that are related to cold calling and me actually doing the cold calling and sourcing business. It's also been important for me to build my personal brand, and so I like to be able to tell my story and let people into my life. So those are two of them. I'm not sure if there's more that I could be doing though.
Maybe just the industry videos of how cold calling works. Why is it the right thing to do? Those are the kind of
Sure.
the third bucket. But I love the first two buckets. So I'll tell you from my personal experiences is that I'm trying to do the videos the same way. I used to do it all my life, but somewhere it just took a lot more time for me personally, and I felt maybe this is not the best use of my time. But at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, time is money, right?
Hmm.
And that's when I felt I need an outside help because but the only caveat is that outside help should be able to put it across the way I want to, my voice, but done by somebody else, right? Do you think something like that is where you are you see yourself too? If you get the right help, maybe you'll be able to do more videos.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually going to give you two objections. One was that I don't have the time for this, and the other was that I don't know if I trust someone else to have my vision and how I like things to be edited and designed. And so, I mean, you would say is this like a done for you? Like you guys do it, but then they also are able to like match my style?
Fair enough. I think valid objection. How about I just send you some videos, which are people like you who've done personal brand through ours, through our platform, and they've scaled their followers and their business. Can I do that?
Yeah, yeah. You just want to email those to me?
I'll do that. Send me your email. We're gonna get it in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
And then let's chat more. Okay, so that's sort of my pitch. It just happened on the go. But how was it, guys? Did I work?
It was really good. I genuinely was gonna be like, oh well, I don't have time to make videos, and then I also was gonna say like, oh, I don't trust someone editing for me. And you already like pre-assumed those objections, and you were like, oh, you don't have the time for it. And then I forget exactly what you said about wanting it to be in your style.
Yeah,
So I like
your
that you did
voice is
that.
very important, right? Because I do videos, I can relate to somebody like you. So
Mhm.
a lot of it was just me. It's like somebody pitching to me what objections I would raise.
Oh,
And in your work, Nick, it's also show and tell, right? So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna send you the videos. That's gonna build the trust. So the cold calling can just be about, hey, give me your email or your number. Is it okay if I send you some videos? That's it. I mean, even that should do the job, right? So, any thoughts, Aryan, on you, and then Nick, you can give some thoughts too on my pitch, or how can I make it better?
Yeah, no, I thought you did a great job in putting yourself into the prospect's shoes, right? You figured
Mhm.
out exactly what, you think would make them click and understanding their pain points and not forcing the pitch based on the discovery where it wasn't there. That's, I think, the biggest thing where a lot of cold callers do. I mean, if they, like Nick pointed out as well, if it's not a fit, disqualify as fast as you can and move on. You're wasting your own time as much as you're wasting your prospect's time. But in this case, you figured out that this was a pain point. You were figuring out it would add value, and you went in with a great pitch. So I liked it.
Okay, thank you. I
Absolutely.
got some
My
ratings from the
points would have
Nick.
been, yeah,
Mhm.
my points would have been details about the offering and services, but the pattern, the structure was dead on.
Mhm.
There's a couple of cleaner ways, with practice you could close
Yeah,
better or faster, but the whole point is like Elisa brought out at the beginning, it's this architecture of the call, the
yeah,
framework. And you were spot on. You got their interest, you were pleasant, and then it's all about them.
yeah. All about
About
them,
what
right?
you're
That's one thing that I think all of us have in common, right? It's an inherent sales thing. That's the first principle, right? It needs to be about them. If you need to close, you need to listen. You need to solve their problem.
That is the hardest thing to teach too. And when you're teaching sales folks, because they're all about presenting and they've been memorizing all the details of your offering and all the service features and the price points and they want to say it. They want to get
Yeah,
it out there, but it's not relevant. It's not
yeah,
about you. It's about them. So it only comes up if they bring it up. So you want to be prepared so you can answer all their questions, but
yeah,
it's their questions. You don't want to impose your framework on it, your viewpoint.
yeah. That's why
That's
I'm
the hardest thing
surprised.
for someone who's outgoing and wants to be presenting. Those key salesperson techniques can also be the ones that trip them up because
You're
they
right.
talk. You got to teach them to shut up.
No, there's sometimes too much enthusiasm, and that's why I like Aryan, for being 25 and being patient, because you need to listen in. And sometimes, just age teaches you that patience, right? Like just listen more than talk, right? And people kept telling me when I was in my early 20s, do this. But when I really saw it working was when I'm listening and I'm not rushing into giving them a solution. I'm showing the energy but not rushing. You know that movie scene from Whiplash. You're rushing, and it's not quite my tempo. It's a famous line. So it's all about that tempo and just listening. How about that, Elisa? I know you've been nodding and listening. I wanna take your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything that's being said, and then also just not pitching something if it really isn't a need or really isn't something that's top of mind for them. And the best thing is to get them to admit that they have the need, and then you're just agreeing with it at that point. And so like asking really good questions. And then I think the one thing I was going to say where you could improve is you didn't ask for the meeting, so you're like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and send you those,
Yeah,
but you should ask for the meeting and get time on my calendar. That's
yeah,
ultimately the goal of the cold call.
yeah,
And you could even say, "Hey, Alyssa, I actually made you a video. I went, and even if you haven't done it, just say, I
Yeah.
went ahead and I actually already made you a video that you could post on your LinkedIn right now.
Yeah.
Are mornings or afternoons better for you? What's like Tuesday, Wednesday look like for you? Let's jump on a quick 15-minute. I want to show you the video.
Yeah.
And then now you're offering me something. Now I'm like, oh, I want to see that video. Like, you made it for me.
Yeah.
And now you have 2 days to quickly make the video. But in my opinion, that would be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
all the
provided
time.
you have qualified leads. Like, if you don't want to do it for everybody, but once you have
Right.
qualified
Well,
and you feel that person can believe you more once you show that sample, and these guys can really
Mhm.
do it really quick. I mean, I've used Studiovers for my events, and it was such a well received event because of the marketing and the video. So, and
Right.
that's why I can vouch for them. And when you also believe, I think maybe you can talk a little bit about that. When you believe in the product, I think that shows, right? When you
Mhm.
have that conviction, it shows. It's so much about that, because if
Mhm.
I don't believe in this and I cannot relate to, okay, the videos are real point, I cannot sell. So a lot of salespeople are given this script, go and sell, even though they don't believe in it, right? So that's so much about just believing.
right. That's that energy I was talking about before. If you don't have that positive energy that you're
Yeah,
working, people start to, it's like AI. They get the uncanny feeling before they
yeah,
realize it's AI. It's the same thing with sales. They get this kind of weird feeling like, I don't believe you.
yeah.
So,
And it shows, right? And I think,
yep,
Aryan, you're about to say something too. It just shows that energy, right? That conviction.
Mhm.
Nick, how about I pitch you on Studioverse?
Let's do
I want to
that.
hear it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who's my prospect? Nick?
sure.
Okay, awesome. Based on the website itself, let's say you are a sales or growth leader at a early stage VC company, a SaaS company. Does that work well as an ICP?
Sure.
Awesome. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good, good. Who am I
Yeah,
talking
good
to?
to hear. Of course, Nick, my name is Aryan. I'm calling you with a company called Studioverse. Just to be totally upfront with you, I was just stalking you on LinkedIn. I saw that you're the sales leader over at X, Y, and Z. Could I just steal a couple seconds to tell you why I gave you a ring?
Sure. What you
Really
need?
appreciate that. I actually speak to a lot of sales and growth leaders like yourself over at the early stage VC SaaS companies, and the common thing that we keep hearing is that when their sales reps spend a big chunk of every call just explaining the product, by the time they get to the real conversation, prospects have either checked out or didn't fully understand it, right? And as a result, sales cycles drag, and a chunk of those deals never close. Is that something that sounds familiar at all?
Oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, totally fair. I guess, could I just ask, how does your sales process look like today, Nick? I mean, is it mostly, your reps would lead the calls and the demos, or do you guys have self-serve when it comes to people buying your product?
For the most part, we're doing outreach to folks that are ordering videos like on Upwork or Fiverr, and we're just offering our services directly that way.
Nice, nice, awesome. So directly to the folks that are on Upwork or Fiverr. And I guess when they do buy it, do you guys set up a call to have like a conversation with them, and then you set up a few conversations with your team? Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Awesome. And typically, on average, how long would you say, the sales cycles are? Would you say you're able to kind of close deals in, 4 or 5 calls, maybe 1 or 2 calls?
Well, first we have a call that is going to determine whether they're a fit, and then we set up a system demo for them.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And then, are your conversion rates at the rate where you think, it's a positive conversion rate? Are you guys happy with the conversion rate so far?
We're happy with our conversion rate, but our time to close, we'd like to get shorter.
Got you. Got you. Okay, so Nick, it sounds like your sales cycles are relatively longer right now than what you'd like it to be, and the rate at which they convert as a result, and the speed is not really at the point where our North Star would be. Awesome, Nick. The reason why I gave you a ring is I'm actually calling you with a company called Studioverse, like I mentioned, and ultimately, in a nutshell, what we do is we build fast turnaround marketing and product videos specifically for SaaS companies at a fraction of what traditional agencies charge. Um, you know, I actually pulled a stat recently. B2B video content shortens sales cycles by 23%. And this stat was pulled by X, Y, and Z. And happy to send you where I got that information from. Here's what I suggest, Nick. would you be opposed if we were to, build you a free sample video, totally on us, based on exactly what you'd like a prospect to walk away with, understanding on your solution? Take a look, see how it lands, and if it's a fit, we can take it from there. No harm done. Does that sound okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome. How does
I'll buy it, man.
Friday work?
I'm saying I'll buy it. That's a
That
that's a
was so
great.
good. That
That was
was
so
really,
good.
really
Awesome.
good.
That's
Appreciate
really
that.
good. That's
Yeah,
really good.
my thought process there was kind of figuring out the pain statement and then moving to the discovery questions, which would kind of hit on the qualification aspects, figuring out if they're a good fit for us, and then determining if this is actually a pain that they face today, and then go for the meeting.
The statistic was so good. Like, by the way,
Yeah.
23%. Or what was the statistic that you gave again? That was so good.
So I actually did pull out. This is a real statistic. So from
Yes,
Claude,
it was.
obviously.
I was gauging it when you said I was listening in carefully because I know those stats.
Oh, yeah, the statistic was B2B video content shortened sales cycles by 23% on average.
Yep, and that really was what I was setting up, and that's common in SaaS is their cycle, and I because I have one of my other clients is an SaaS client for B2B, and creating video content so they could evaluate the software without on their schedule, as opposed to having to set up a meeting and then another meeting and then another in order to find out whether it's a fit or not is kind of a big point for
Sales
Yeah,
cycle.
100%. Yeah,
As
because
soon
I
as
was
you
actually
say,
with a SaaS company that was Series A raised, and this is exactly a pain point that they were facing, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
that I could feel that situation.
Yeah, the demo, because I do live demos. That's one of my big things that I do. So
that's where you have good
understanding
conversions, right? From the demos to the
live demos,
yeah,
you
get them
can't
to
beat.
get them to the demos. That's the point where we need cold calling, and that's why we did this whole thing. Started off today with both of you, Aryan, Elisa, and Nick. You were very generous to join in very last minute. I know it. We spoke 2 days ago. I mean, that's what live streaming is about. You anyway. The excitement is different. I mean, of course, as we have more audience, you'll know. But did you all feel while you were doing live streaming? This live streaming was it any intimidating because it's just live streamed right now, Elisa?
No, I feel like it helped. It's nice because I can't actually see the live stream or
Yeah,
like if viewers or anything. It just feels like a normal Zoom call with my friends hanging out.
Alyssa's used to this.
yeah. If you want to see this, here we are on
Oh,
our
that's so fun.
yeah. It's gone live. So as we keep doing this more and more, we'll build the audience as well. But today's session, could have been live with a lot of audience too. But we'll create a lot of short content, and maybe Nick will talk to you about that, right?
Oh yeah,
Getting
I
getting
got a whole
shorter
team that
videos.
can clip the heck out of this, but
I think there can be some really good content from this. But before we go, we need to ask this. It's a very important question asked by all the Gen Z students who are also, kind of dating people. Like, what can be a good pickup line, and what's the similarity between pickup lines and doing openers on cold call? There must be something, right? Like for everybody that has worked. Nick knows a few, I guess. Yeah, his expression says.
exactly. It's still the same thing. It's not about you. If
Yeah,
you're going to appeal to them, it's going to be about what's appealing to them.
yeah.
So,
Make it about them,
what are their
right?
interests? What are they looking for tonight? What are they interest? That kind of a thing. So if you can learn what that is, and that's usually through conversation,
Yeah.
and in order to get to that conversation, there's some sort of cold call. There's some sort of startup, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Aryan, you have some thoughts?
For sure, yeah. I can't say I was stalking you because that's just weird. But what I'd use instead is, definitely compliment them on something, right? About them. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Compliment a decision that they made today, whether it's, something they decide to wear or something specifically. And I think that's what would work in getting the next 30 seconds. It's the same concept. Opener, next 30 seconds, have that conversation. And then the ask is phone number or Instagram. So that's all it
Yeah.
goes.
Choose
So
is always the
if
thing.
so Elisa, if some if any guys like going like a good pickup line, would you assume that must be in sales, right? Or must be good with cold calling, right?
Yeah, definitely. You guys should see some of the crazy LinkedIn DMs I've gotten over the last few weeks.
I am
What are they
sure.
like? Was anything exciting? Then you felt, oh, this is interesting. At least I can talk to this person, not for
Um,
anything else, but just because it was good.
I got one that said, "Hey, my sister told me to reach out." And then I
Interesting.
said, "Who's your sister?" I fell for it. I was like, "Oh, who's your sister?" I assumed that I knew them.
Yeah.
And then he sent me her LinkedIn page, and I was like, "Oh, that's so fun. I don't know her." And he said, "Oh, she didn't say to reach out for work purposes."
Oh wow, that happens on LinkedIn. How come?
Yes,
Oh wow. Okay, so LinkedIn is another kind of place. I don't know. I think a lot of women get that more than men, and I
for
feel
sure.
that women creep out a lot more because LinkedIn is not the place where you'll
It's
kind of
not.
assume, right, that people will do this. But see, I think a good salespeople can make for people who can be good with this. But as Nick said, with experience, make it about them. Have a lot of empathy. Doesn't matter sales relationships or real relationships. I think they're all the same, right? But that's a good way to close this live stream today. Hope you all had fun. We're gonna do
Absolutely.
more and do live calls. How about live calls while on the live stream? Can we do that?
That'll be very interesting. Only thing I'm
Yeah,
worried
I
about
think
is
there's,
data.
I did
yeah,
that
I'm
this
like dead
past week.
space. The
Oh, you did
Yeah,
that?
ding, because you can go a good 15, 20 minutes and not get a connection.
That's
It's
true too. That's true
hard.
too.
It's very hard to plan a truly cold call over something like a presentation because you can crank through numbers and not get anywhere pretty quickly.
So get the right quality of numbers. We can at least try it for about 30 minutes while we can talk about everything else while the calls are happening. I think
I
we
find
can
that if you call into a company whose job it is to answer the phone,
yeah.
you do a
Yeah,
lot better.
you'll do
So
a lot
if you're
better.
talking to solopreneurs, if you're talking to service people, I mean, people that sell stuff,
Yeah.
advertising, printing, people
Yeah.
that have to pick up their phone as part of doing business, you're going to have a lot bigger success
They
rate.
will have more empathy, right? So yeah, that's true.
Well,
Elisa, what did
they're
you
going to
do
they're
with
going to
cold
get more
calling?
answers.
Yeah, you can get more answers too. Yep. You said you did cold call recently, Elisa, while
yeah.
being live?
Yeah. This last week, I'll tell you guys this story. Do you guys know of the company Glen Coco? They
No.
essentially are a marketplace for cold calling. So they bring in clients set up their campaigns, and then individuals like you and I can sign up and do the cold calling, and then
Oh
they
wow.
get paid out. So it's a marketplace for cold calling. And we're more than happy to introduce you to them. So they had an event this week out in Arizona where they brought out their 20 top calling reps, and they live streamed the entire thing all 3 days from 5 a.m. The live stream started, and they stayed in this like $5 million mansion, brought out
Wow.
their top reps, and we just cold called all day. And we sat in front of the camera and we'd take turns sitting there and making dials. And it takes time. Like you might dial for 30 minutes before you get an answer, or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it worked, and they got a really good reaction. People really like to see that live.
Yeah.
You also just want to be respectful of the clients that you're cold calling. If we had someone that was okay with representing their business and
Yeah.
their product.
Yeah. I think we can make it happen if you come to Toronto. I've heard that you're coming here.
I'll
So
be I'll be there in August. If we want to plan something, I'm happy to try to stay. I was already planning on staying for a couple days, so maybe we can do some sort of live
yeah,
in
yeah.
person.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And we can connect to them as well, since they're already doing it. And if you want to
Mhm.
do it any small way, we can do something here, or we can have a live podcast if nothing else. Just like, so this podcast channel is called Carnama because I started off doing it in the car, like James Corden style, get people in the car and drive around and talk. So
That's
maybe,
fun.
so maybe when you are here, we can do that also. Just drive around Toronto. We'll show you Toronto. Have you been here before?
Never. It'll be my first time.
Oh wow, it'll be exciting to show you around. I get very excited when people have not been to Toronto and then you have to show them around. There's a good tech scene here. There's a lot of good food scene and a
Cool.
lot of entertainment. So we'll sure talk, stay in touch. But thank you all for starting this. You all are special, and for making this happen. I usually like to end it with a small prayer, just so that I believe in, no matter what religion, I just believe in the power of praying. And I feel just ending on that note would be nice if that's okay for all of you. Just a small prayer that, hey, universe, I feel we were all here today because we were meant to be. I think there's great energy, great discussion, and I hope a lot more founders take value out of this, but eventually, they all become good listeners, kind to each other, and yeah, may peace prevail. Amen.